it's Yuri, how's it going? And welcome to the new office. This is actually the first video I'm shooting from our new home studio. And I have this cool white wall that I'm gonna be drawing on. So don't get worried if I'm actually drawing on the wall, because actually it's a whiteboard wall. It's pretty cool. Anyways, today we're gonna be talking about, I'm gonna share with you 5 diet rules to live by. Right? As you probably know, I'm not a huge fan of dogmatic diets and you can only eat this and never this. I'm more about moderation and balance and not feeling guilty and shameful for having the occasional treat. So here, I want to give you a little bit more food freedom, as I call it, by giving you 5, it's kind of ironic, I'm giving you 5 diet rules when I'm saying don't follow dogmatic diet rules. But anyways, these are fundamental kind of overarching principles, and I'm just kind of holding some pens and erasers here, or markers and erasers, I should say. So let's get into it. Okay, so first one here is eat blank, stop blank. This is really, really important to remember, and I hope you apply it. It's really simple, okay? I'm just gonna abbreviate this, so I'm not gonna write the whole sentence out, but you wanna eat when you're hungry, and you wanna stop when you're full. And I think intuitively that makes a lot of sense. Right? We tend to eat when we want food, and we tend to stop in most cases, hopefully, when our bellies are kind of filled up. The problem, though, is that there's a little bit of a disconnection with our hypothalamus, which is kind of the command center in our brain as a result of things like leptin resistance. Leptin is a hormone that kind of tells your brain, hey, you've had enough, you're good. But the problem is that as a result of eating a lot of sugar, specifically fructose, MSG, for instance, as well, and a number of other kind of chemical additives, that communication becomes blunted. The other thing is if you always have high leptin levels, so if you're always eating or starving yourself on the flip side, that leptin communication can become disrupted. So sometimes this eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full idea is easier said than done. But for the most part, you really want to be conscious and aware of what you're doing. Ask yourself, like, am I really hungry right now? Or why else am I eating? Am I stressed out, or am I anxious, or am I looking to fill some other void? And do your best to be conscious with your food so that you can make better food choices. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Number 2 is eat mostly plants. Now, if you've read any of my work, my New York Times bestselling book, The All-Day Energy Diet, or even its kind of ancient predecessor, Eating for Energy, or just my general philosophy in general, is eat mostly plants. I'm not saying become a vegan, okay? There's a very big distinction there. And I'm not a vegan either, okay? I do eat meat. In fact, actually just before shooting this video, I had eggs with some chopped up meat and spinach together, okay? Full disclosure. But if you look at the science, if you look at the literature, if you look at what are the things that keep us healthy and prevent disease, it's eating more vegetables and fruit. That's really as simple as it needs to be. And the problem is that most of us are not getting our 5 to 10 servings per day. And that's one of the reasons that we obviously developed our energy greens, which is a greens powder that you can just add to water, really simple. So without going into further detail, do your best to have a salad with your meals. Or if you're having something else, meat, whatever it is you're having on your plate, make sure that at least 2/3 of your plate is filled up with vegetables, and green vegetables ideally, because they're just packed with all of those amazing nutrients that your body really wants. Number 3 is cover your bases. And essentially what this means is a lot of times, a lot of the issues that we're dealing with, whether it be cravings or some type of issue, whether it's a health issue or other, can come down to basic micronutrient deficiencies. You might be deficient in calcium or iron or magnesium or something. And that's why the whole supplement industry has kind of taken off, is because they're using kind of scare tactics to let us know that, hey, you're not getting the nutrients you need from your food, therefore you should be supplementing. And I do agree with that to some degree, depending on the quality of the multivitamin supplements that you're using, if you are. But nonetheless, you want to be eating a whole foods-based diet where you're using food as the real kind of foundation for getting in your nutrients. And this goes back to the second point, eating mostly plants, or again, even if you're eating meat, getting a lot of veggies with those, and then having fruit throughout the day if you want, because those are going to give you the most bang for your buck in terms of micronutrients. The phytonutrients that prevent cancer and disease, all of those alkaline minerals like calcium, magnesium, potassium, you're going to find all that stuff in plants. So cover your bases by eating a whole foods-based diet, 5 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables per day, if not more, and really making all of your food choices around whole foods. Not the store, but real food that you can find on planet Earth without having to go to a store and tear it out of a package. Now, with that said, let's go to number 4, which is supplement, don't replace. Just the word supplement means in addition to, pretty much. So never forget, if you're taking a multivitamin, that doesn't replace eating good food. If you're taking supplemental vitamin C, always remember, in pretty much all cases, your body is always going to recognize nutrients in food first and foremost before any supplements. So that's really, really important. Most supplements, in terms of what I would recommend in terms of supplementation, I would say a good digestive enzyme, a good probiotic, fish oil, and that's pretty much it, right? If you want to go above and beyond that, go for it. But if you're using a multivitamin, get a good whole food derived multivitamin, not one that's coming from synthetics. Number 5, this is really important. I saved the best for last. P&P equals success. P&P stands for planning and preparation. This is so important, even if you didn't know anything about nutrition, but you just have the diligence to sit down for a couple minutes every week, maybe on a Sunday, and plan out the week ahead in terms of what you want to eat. You would be far, far ahead of anybody else who knows everything about nutrition, but who's not doing this. And I'm guilty of not doing this enough. And that's one of the reasons that I actually developed meal plans, is because I kind of need them myself. So the beautiful thing about having a meal plan to follow is that it's done for you. You know exactly which recipes to have, when to have them, and then at least you have a good array of different things that you can kind of mix around and choose what's going to work best for you. But the planning and preparation is huge, because remember, you get home from work, you've had a long day, maybe a bit stressed out, maybe a bit tired. The last thing you want to do at that time is figure out, what am I going to have for dinner? Because your willpower, which starts off, up here at the beginning of the day, drains just like a battery on your phone the more you use it. So get that stuff done well in advance, so that when you come home after work, you're not thinking about stuff. It's like, boom, okay, I'm having this. Here's the stuff, let's make it. 10, 15 minutes later, you're eating. That's the key, okay? Now, if this stuff resonates with you, I would love to invite you to a brand new free 14-day clean eating challenge that we are running, and it's called the Clean 14. So the dates for that are below this video, and actually the link to join us is at the link below this video as well. And here's why I think it's really important to at least kind of, join us. Again, first of all, it's free. Second, if you want all this stuff taken care of for you, especially the planning and preparation, we're going to give you the recipes, the meal plans, the shopping list, everything you need to know in order to succeed with clean eating over 14 days. We're basically providing for you. And the beautiful thing is that we're going to be doing this together as a group and as kind of community of people who are moving in the same direction of eating well, wanting to have more energy, wanting to look better, lose a couple pounds, but really get a handle on eating well. So if you've got cravings, or if you're not really too sure how to get started, or maybe you've kind of just veered off the deep end a little bit the last little while, and you need something to kind of kick your butt back into clean eating gear, then this is it. So once again, it's called the Clean 14. The dates and registration link for that are below. I'd love for you to join us, and I'll see you there.